The outward adorning was by far the easiest part of this spiritual walk. Shalom, peace and blessings. Welcome back to Jonathan's house. I am Sister Attire, and this is kind of a continued video of my head covering video, except this one I'm going to be speaking more about modest apparel, specifically why I wear skirts. So you can imagine my head wrap and my skirt is the main reason why a lot of people ask, are you a Muslim? But I already answered that question. So modest apparel. So when we came into the faith 3 years ago, my husband said no more pants. That was pretty easy for me to do, was to get rid of my pants. He bought us skirts. A lot of the pants that I do have, or that I did have, I turned them into skirts. That is also going to be in future videos, some of my sewing projects that I have done and are doing. The scripture that led my husband to reason why he doesn't want us ladies, the women in his household, to wear any pants is Deuteronomy 22:5. And the first 5 books of the Bible we call the Torah, which are the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High Yah that was given to Moses. And so Deuteronomy 22:5, it says, the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Most High. This scripture led my husband to say, hey, no more pants. You're not going to wear that which pertaineth to a man. And we know, based off of basic common sense, when you see the restrooms, for instance, they have the man, which looks like he's, it's a straight figure, look like, nothing. Whereas the woman's bathroom, there's a sign, a symbol of a figure, but there's like a triangle shape, which looks like a dress. So, I mean, common sense, ladies, men here, that's just one example. History has taught us that it was very uncommon for women to wear pants. We see that it wasn't until the 19th or 20th century where it became acceptable for women to wear pants. And we see throughout old movies that women wore what looked like to be modest apparel. Big flowy skirts and blouses that weren't too excessively tight or showing much cleavage. Having those pants most of the time coming from Western taught mindset, jeans were okay, and I wore jeans that hugged my figure, very clingy to my body, wearing clothes that showed your cleavage. So coming out of her and coming out of that mindset, I no longer wear clothes that show my cleavage, even skirts that don't hug my body, or dresses that would hug your body. There are dresses out there that are nice and flowy, but they also have like see-through, so you have to maybe double up your clothing. That way, you're not you could still wear dresses and still be immodest. Or you can wear a skirt and still be immodest because it's clingy, it hugs your body, it shows your curves. And a part of that modest apparel about coming out of her, you put away those things, because as mentioned in my video before, you can cause another person to lust after you, especially if you are a wife. If you are a possession to a husband, you are going to cause another man to sin, and you sinning against your husband. Matthew 5:28, it says, I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. So again, dressing a certain way, being a certain way, you can cause a man to commit adultery. And if you consider yourself a daughter of Sarah, daughter of Zion, nation of Israel, then you won't bring that sin forth with your daughters or yourself. So you definitely want to keep that in mind when you think about, oh, okay, easy to wear a dress. there's lots of dresses out there that are very immodest. So in my previous video also, like, I had a dress, but it was like a spaghetti strap. I threw on a t-shirt under it, and it was no longer, you know, showing any of this part of my body. It was a very big flowy dress. So I also have some scriptures that I wanted to share pertaining to modest apparel. Also in the Torah, in Leviticus 19 and 28, it says that ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Most High. Do not prostitute thy daughters to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness. So this is one of those scriptures, you know, where it's pretty clear, don't prostitute your daughter. When in today's society we see that a lot of male figures or fathers, they're pretty comfortable with having their young daughters dress with short shorts on or little spaghetti strap shirts, and the perverted mind will look at your child in a perverted kind of way. Dress your little daughters in modest apparel as well. Put a skirt on her as well. Cover her hair as well. Don't have her wearing these tight clothing to allow your young children or young daughters to dress in this type of way. It really does look like, as the Bible would call it, harlot attire. So not only do I dress modest, but as mentioned in my previous video, so does my husband's 11-year-old daughter. She does not wear shorts. She does not wear tight clothing. She wraps her head and she wears dresses and skirts just like I do. Because the land is still very raw, my husband does allow us to wear pants while we are working on the homestead. Also during cold months, he will allow us to wear leggings underneath our skirts. But when we do go out into the public eye, we do wear our skirts. Again, we study all things biblical. We live a biblical lifestyle. Oh, you are getting a mess. So another one, the Bible calls harlot attire. And in Proverbs 7 and 10, it says, and behold, there met a woman with an attire of an harlot, and subtle of heart. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. Verse 12, now is she without. Now the streets and lieth in wait at every corner. So we see here that there are women out there with the attire of an harlot, and she's loud and a busybody and not at home, being a chaste keeper of home, being quiet and meek. These are all characteristics and traits of a modest woman. Proverbs 31, we know that this is speaking of the virtuous woman, and I'm gonna just read Proverbs 31 and 30. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Most High, she shall be praised. Keeping all these scriptures in mind as to the many reasons why the women here at Yohannatan's house, we wear skirts and wrap our head or dresses. Peter chapter 3 also says, whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and wearing of gold or of putting on of apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of the Most High of great price. For after this manner in the old time the holy women also who trusted in Yah adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. The outward adorning is important, you know, wearing your head covering, wearing modest apparel, but it's more so important that inward adorning, and I'm going to do that in another video. But I wanted to just share those things with you all, share some of those scriptures as to why I wear modest apparel, and my journey and my experience with the transition. The outward adorning was by far the easiest part of this spiritual walk, this biblical walk here at Yohannatan's house. So I just wanted to share that with you all, and I pray that this video is a blessing to a sister I would love for you guys to share your comments with me. Let me know what you think. If you have any scriptures, you can post them below in the comment section. Like the video, and please do, if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. Shalom, peace, and blessings.